Italian F4 returns. Hello everyone and welcome to Vallelunga, where it is time for some fantastic action in round 2 of Italian F4. Well, it is great to have your company. We immediately take you over to our battle screen, which is D2 of course. We have the grid on screen right now, so you are able to see where the drivers start. And it's Key Nakamura on pole position alongside Luca Samalisto. And then Thomas Stolchamanis is alongside Maxim Rem. A very interesting grid. A very interesting grid. And it's a very interesting race coming our way in a couple of moments as well for Italian F4. We are really looking forward to this one. So, it's going to be fun. It's going to be chaotic, but we're waiting for everyone to get on the grid around Vallelunga. And it's going to be Group B versus Group C participating. We still have the format of everyone currently using with Italian F4 using three groups in total, and with those 3 groups we are able to then get the best of the drivers into a finale where 36 drivers battle in race number 4, but it's all spread out across the 3 races in terms of each group will race against each other, and then we'll have to look and see who progresses. There will be a few drivers who fade like they were last time, and everyone else will push on to forge a finale and forge a way possibly for themselves to the checkered flag and to the victory. Okay, right, well, it's time for some interviews. Key Nakamura spoke to us earlier on.
Boxing in and had a few problems at the start, but overall it was a good quali. Team did a mega job of the setup, half a second over clear in our group to P2. We end up in Group B, but I always knew that was going to happen. Track was drying, second session was always going to be faster, and but yeah, I'm really happy to take the pole. Big thanks to the team for the mega effort, and we'll try to continue this sort of momentum tomorrow.
Second year in the championship for Key Nakamura, and he had a dominant first round of the championship at Misano. He is the championship leader. Fastest in the first group. The track did dry slightly for the second group of qualifying at 6 PM local time last evening. A few drivers on slicks. It was still just a wet track. And David Cosmo Christopher, only his 5th ever car race, took his first pole position. Multiple WSK kart racing champion, but Grid 1 for race 2 later this evening. We spoke to the Romanian after qualifying.
It was very tricky qualifying because it just rained and then the sun came out, and yeah, it was the track was drying, and we don't know whether we should have gone with slicks or with wet, but in the end we went with wet. I think maybe if we would have went like 10 minutes later, for sure it would have been slicks. There were a lot of water patches on the track, so yeah, that stopped us from putting the slicks. I feel a bit nervous for tomorrow because I never started in the top 5 ever, so for sure it's going to be a bit challenging with the start and with the battles in front because there are a lot of experienced drivers. But yeah, I'll just keep my calm and hopefully we can do a great result also in the races.
Thank you very much, Ian, as well, along with the drivers that we were able to speak to. So, our current pictures on the grid see us with cars in the pit lane and drivers about to head out there as well. So, we've had a bit of a scruffy start. I had to get everything set up late. That's what happens when you've been awake since 6 AM doing a 1-hour Porsche Super Cup qualifying, which is premiering right now. So get that open at the same time of watching this, everyone. Yeah, so we've got a Porsche Super Cup session, which is a 30-minute qualifying. I was alone for that one. I'm alone for all the Porsche Super Cups qualifying sessions as well this year, as it's recorded, so it's a lot more easier, just so I can do it to my own convenience. I don't want anyone else waking up at 6 AM to do it along with me. So yeah, I just do that at 6 AM, get that done, so it's so it can go in the gap between Formula 3 Sprint, which also finished earlier on. Thank you if you did join us in that. And then also the Formula 1 practice, which is coming up in about 19 minutes time as well. But Italian F4, is, of course, in partnership with ACI Sport. They've got a couple of their crew members and broadcasters down there to talk a little bit about this race.
This is a championship, which is amazing because we have in this race 41 drivers, so I think that the fighting that we will see will be amazing. So cross the finger for a race without safety car.
Many meetings during the weekend.
Yeah, many meetings because we are over the capacity of the track, so we have a particular format here in Vallelunga, like in Misano during the first round. So we adopt a format of 4 races. The first 3 are considered as qualifying heats, and the grand final will be tomorrow in the afternoon for the best 36 drivers.
Thank you.
Okay, welcome.
Mr.
So, thank you very much, Vander, as well. So yeah, that's a little explanation to why we are running this format. You may think 4 races on one weekend, drivers not participating in one race. In terms of every group misses at least 1 race, so everyone races 3 races in total. Well, no, some will race 2, most race 3. I mean, yeah, we have like 40 to 41 drivers, 36 will race 3, and then there's like around 5 that will race only 2 with their group races. So yeah, it just means every group goes up against each other, let's just say. I remember we started with Group A last time, so we're doing Group B and Group C to start this weekend. But yeah, as I was saying, I did a 1-hour Porsche Super Cup race earlier. No, not a race, qualifying rather. Solo with lots of red flags, so I was quite busy with that. Then of course Formula 3 sprint, which, you know, it is Monaco at the end of the day, so overtaking is tricky, so it's kind of like you're having to talk your way through that a little bit as well. And then we finally got ourselves to this race now, Italian F4, which we're waiting to get underway, which I'm hoping will be soon, and I'm hoping will be shortly, and I'm happy that we're able to bring you every single race this weekend live here on JB Motorsports 2. So we're in the waiting phase. It's a bit of an extra long build up. As I mentioned. We were supposed to get going here at 11:15. So I think there's been some delays to the race that was here prior, which is why we are starting late, but drivers are making their way through around this circuit at the moment. It's going to be exciting. Okay, we've got Pirelli down there now with ACI Sport.
Both for dry and wet tires, so we expect it to give more durability with the same performance for the distance of the race. So we expect to have good results and to have very spectacular races this season.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you very much. So great to hear from Pirelli and them also telling us a little bit about some of the tyres that are available. We talked about how it was damp earlier on, and that's how it's affected some groups. So challenging qualifying for these drivers, and it's going to be some challenging racing coming up as well. So Travis Vlogs saying Italian F4 is always good. It really, really is. It's always action-packed. It's always exciting. And I even remember at Misano where they were all struggling to some degree to make some overtakes. Well, in a race where we kind of said there would be slightly less overtakes. It was all action-packed. But it's places like Monza where it really peaks in terms of overtaking, and also the safety cars as well. So that's going to be quite a lot of fun. So drivers still making their way around this circuit. The number 27, the Prema of Alexander Bondarev, navigating his way through. And I will bring you up to the commentary box in a moment's time, but we currently have it on this screen, or let's just say I'll show you right now, but you wouldn't be able to see too much. As you can see, nothing is really in appropriate position at the moment, which is why we like to keep it on the battle screen until the race gets going, because of how the layout of the live timings are. It's of course set up to when we are actually green, but it's slightly different. It's slightly different compared to what the grid layout is that they use as well. So also out there on the circuit, we currently make our way through with Ludovico Busso. So it's going to be interesting to see how he gets on, and I'm looking forward to seeing which drivers will fall, will fade. Of course, it's never a good thing. It's not a good thing. So of course, what I'm trying to say by that, in terms of I'm looking forward to seeing which drivers will fall. Of course, a lot of them will just pass. That is the case. That's going to be the case. But it's fascinating in these group races to see who is actually going to not be able to make it across the 2 races, and that can be due to lots of contact. That can be that's not even pace wise. Sometimes it's just different factors in Italian F4 that affect it. So I think while we're going to get some good racing, while it's a big moment if someone wins this race, I'm really excited to see. I think the finale, a big moment it is. So I'm really looking forward to seeing which drivers will be able to pass in some of the competition we get further back in the field. Okay, time for some more interviews.
Driver, and yes, it's a very strong season, and very happy for this start grid, and we have the top team over the world, and very happy for this situation.
Always more international.
Yes, we have 27 different countries, and this is a very international championship.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I think that's a fair thing to say. You get loads of drivers from absolutely everywhere. Loads keeping an eye, of course, on Sebastian Weldon as well. So he's definitely one to keep an eye on. He isn't really in this race, with what we can see at the moment. But yeah, a very interesting driver to keep an eye on. Of course, the winner to start our season at Misano. Now, at Vallelunga, which I can say, you know, Italian words. I'm not always the best at coming up with a assumption of what something might be pronounced as, but we were able to get an Italian on the phone and confirming it. Myself, Joshua Birch, and Megan Birch as well, who you can all catch in Formula 1 later, were on a phone call, and we were figuring that out. Vallelunga is how we say this place's name. Great to see the grandstands packed. There's lots of motor racing to pick. And not only that, but it's what a weekend it is. It's a very busy weekend. Like, it's not one of your normal weekends. You have the Indy 500, you have the Monaco Grand Prix, 2 Triple Crown races, you have the touring cars on as well, you've got MotoGP at Silverstone, of course you have all of the F1 supports that go with it, all of the racing going on here, all of the supports to the touring cars. There's so much action, and as a certain JT would remind me, we've got the Daytona 24 Hours, not the actual one, the karting one, everybody as well. So I think I've got my point across. There is so much racing for you to pick from. Stolchamanis, a driver who really impressed me when it came to last round. I'm hoping that he can do more of the same today from 3rd position on the grid. And one of the main things I want from this round, so this round of the championship, the 4 races we have coming up, one of the main things that I want to leave saying is that we had a great fight for the win. I don't feel like I was able to say that due to how the Polestar always could just pull away. So I think we had everything basically in that race, in the weekend rather, the round, the season opener at Misano. But I feel like we did lack a little bit when it came to how the on-track action, how the on-track battling for the lead was. So I would like to see a bit of a battle at the front. I think that would definitely be fun. And would definitely spice things up, especially as we're waiting for the race. I mean, we were supposed to get going at what, 11:10? 11:05 on air, 11:10 lights out race on. Absolutely none of that. So we're in this waiting phase. At the moment, we will try to work out why that is. But I'm looking forward to seeing what Lucas Samalisto is going to be able to do from 2nd place. Can he apply some pressure on Keen Nakamura Berta, who is really one talented driver on the evidence of what he was able to produce last time out. So let's run you through the grid then for this race. Keen Nakamura Berta is on pole position, and he is alongside Lucas Amalisto, who goes from 2nd. Thomas Stolchamanis is alongside Maxim Rem, who will go from 4th. Row 3 sees Gabriel Gomez alongside Marcus Sater. Salim Hanna is in 7th, and then it's Teo Schroep in 8th position for JBMotorsports, still of course racing at this level. They of course departed the Formula 3 Championship at the end of last year, their place being taken by Dams in that series. Artem Savayukin is in 9th. Alexander Ruta is in 10th position. Kabir Anurag, part of the Alpine Academy, he'll go from 11th, and then it's Kryl Kutskov who goes from P12 on the grid. Row 7 on the grid is going to see Enea Frey, and he's alongside Alexander Bondarev in 14th. Andrea Kostic is in 15th, and then it's Guy Albag in 16th position, the number 44, driving for R-Race GP in this series. And then we are going to have in 17th position Newman Chi, Bart Harrison is in 18th, David Walther is in 19th, and then it's Badr Al-Sulati in 20th place on the grid. He's also driving for JBMotorsports, who are of course conducting quite a few drivers in this Italian F4 Championship. Moving to the next grid spots, we have Ludovico Busso alongside Andrea Dupe. Arthur Lormier is alongside Cornelia Olkutska. So let's see how she's going to get on from 24th position, part of Maffei Racing. And then to 25th. And 26th is Emir Tanju alongside Nathaniel Berrenby. Berrenby, rather. I don't know why I added an N to that name. But when you've got so many names, of course you're going to butcher it right at the end. You got to all of them. And then butchering it right at the end. Well done, Obi. That's just the brilliant stuff. Okay. Enough about names, enough about stuff. Well, I mean, we'll definitely talk more about names later on when I'm absolutely butchering them when they're actually going side by side. So for now, we're going to turn our attention to the race. And the race start that will be coming up, a critical race start. Now remember, it completely caught me out, but I wasn't alone. When I had a look at what Ian did, he actually misidentified a little bit more. So, of course, both of us trying to do our absolute best when it comes to Italian F4, but it can be really, really tricky. So I know Ian's done it for a long time and he does such a great job, so it's like if he got it quite wrong, then it shows how difficult it was to identify because of the sun, and Wes also agreed with that as well. So it was my first ever time covering an Italian F4 race, so yeah, it was gonna always be a bit of a challenge, the race start, and the reason why was because we had jump starts. So the jump starts caused that confusion and we didn't know who on earth was the leader until we got round a lap, and then the realization came in. The realization soon about to come in though, about Italian F4 looking to the lights after our formation lap. Such a big build up, I have to say, for this race. Such a long broadcast as well. That's just what happens, everybody. That's just what happens in this category. That is just what happens. Whether it's red flags due to about 10 cars off the road. It's all action. It always is. So we're making our way through that. Just waiting to get this race started. It's going to be a fascinating fight down to turn 1, I have to say. We usually get drivers bogging down, drivers getting different sorts of launches, so it's always quite fun. Okay, I'm going to momentarily hand over to Ian while I quickly fix a little issue we've got as well. So I'm going to momentarily hand back over to him and then I'll be back.
The GT Cup cars. Next round of the championship, we go to the home of the Italian Formula 1 Grand Prix. That's on June 22 at Monza, with the track capacity 51 cars. So we don't expect to divide into groups for the next round of the championship.
Brilliant.
The 1 minute board to go up here at Vallelunga in just a moment. The first of 4 races. Nice to have your company wherever you are watching us live around the world from the historic Vallelunga circuit. 4,085 metres, just over 4 kilometres this track. Lap record, incidentally, we have to go back to 2006 or 8. Anthony Davison in the ferocious, I'll say this silently, the V10 Honda Formula 1 car, lapping this track in 1 minute 12 seconds. We won't come close to those times here this afternoon. We may well see the lap record of Enzo Fittipaldi, who set a 132.995 back in 2018. That may be broken. That was in the first generation car. This is the second generation Tata's T421 chassis powered by the slightly more powerful 185 horsepower Autotechnica Abarth turbo engine. As we get prepared for a start, the formation lap in just a moment for the first of 4 races here this weekend at Vallelunga, the second round of the 12th season of the Italian F4 Championship, presented from the very beginning by WSK Promotion, together with the Automobile Club of Italy. As you heard the president of WSK Promotion just a few moments.
Yeah, so, I momentarily cut off Ian there as well with the audio, but he was just explaining exactly what we heard earlier on in terms of the president of the WSBK saying that it's a very international championship, which I cannot echo more. So, here we go then. Well, we have to, of course, bring you up to the commentary box now, everybody. Hello, here we are. I have to bring you up to the commentary box now because we're about to get going. So the timings will fix themselves. Do not worry at all. The timings will fix themselves once they stop having, once they stop showing the grid. So it's going to be a fascinating race. I'm just preparing everything, getting everything ready. Key Nakamura Berta alongside Luca Samalisto, Stoltramanis, Maxime Rem, Gabriel Gomez, and Marcus Sita is our top 6. This is going to be action-packed. This is going to be exciting. This is going to be chaotic. Please file every single word of exciting to a thesaurus that we can find for this Italian F4 race and series. We were just watching Kryl Kutskov making his way through. But yes, after a lot of waiting around and after a lot of waffling by myself, finally we're about to get the action. Finally, you guys are actually going to hear me talking about what is going on the circuit rather than me just absolutely yapping on. I mean, if you've watched the Porsche Super Cup qualifying, then I don't think you want to hear my voice for the rest of the weekend. But I'll be on at the end of Q3. If you want to, I'll be on at the end of Q3 later on for Formula 1. I'll be doing the F2 sprint just before that as well, alongside Joshua Birch. And then, well, I did say I was going to come on momentarily for practice, but to be fair, considering how delayed this is, probably not now. I don't think there'll be enough time. Unfortunately, well, it will finish before, but I was hoping that I would finish and then I could just come on and do that. But to be fair, I need to eat breakfast because I've not eaten that at all so far. Enough life stories though, because we're coming onto the grid, everybody, and we are about to get going for Italian F4 in 2025 at Vallelunga in the second round of our campaign. 4 races once again. And into position comes Key Nakamura Berta, one of our dominant forces from the opening weekend of the season. Now, who steps forward? Who puts their name in contention? Will it be Key Nakamura Berta again? Can Luca Samalista fight back? What can Stoltramanis do? So many questions. It's time to get some answers. Van Amersfoort watching on, hoping for something magical from their drivers. Prema watching on as well. Here we go. Excitement starting to build in the Italian F4 Championship. We are soon getting ready to go racing. Green flag at the back. Italian F4 is ready to look to the lights. And when they all go out, we'll be racing. 5 lights on. Italian F4 is underway and racing at Vallelunga. Great launch off the line by Key Nakamura Berta. He will maintain the lead. Stoltramanis trying to put some pressure and make it a Prema 1-2. He's to the inside of Luca Samalisto. Wheel to wheel we go in the battle for second place. Can he get ahead? It's super tight. It's very nearly 3 wide for the lead. Around the outside, Luca Samalisto is going to try and take this position. Can he do it? It's wheel to wheel in the battle for second place. Multiple cars going off the road. There, Kabiranura involved in some side by side as we make our way down the straight now. Nakamura Berta with the lead, trying to defend. Samalisto still up alongside. Stoltramanis has a look. Stoltramanis backs out of it. Gabriel Gomez has gained a couple of positions and Stoltramanis is gonna do it. Prema's off the road along with multiple cars. Stoltramanis does take second place after all of that scrapping. Lock up there from Stoltramanis. It is exciting. It's action packed. It is exactly what Italian F4 usually delivers. Wild stuff. Contact there further back. Contact is made at the back. Samalisto back ahead of Gabriel Gomez, wheel to wheel. What an opening lap we are seeing. It is wild, frenetic stuff. The Van Amersfoort trying to defend, trying to go around the outside of 1, possibly 2. A brilliant move being attempted further back. Is that going to be Artem Sevayukin? I think who managed to get a couple of positions. I think it was. Oh, there goes is that the rear wing falling off one of the cars into the pit lane. Kabir Anurag comes along with the Van Amersfoort. We are still side by side. So many different battles. This is absolutely outrageous stuff. Key Nakamura Berta pulling away. Stolchamani's got to second. Anurag is in the pit lane along with the Van Amersfoort car there. Goodness me, what an opening lap it was to the race. We're side by side still in the midfield as we look to see who's dishing out the overtakes. Okay, they make their way through. That is going to be an opportunity coming in for Kryl Kutskov, trying to make some overtakes and gains further back. Down to the braking zone. Around the outside, we'll look to Prem up. Hannah Salim in the mix. Or Salim Hanna rather, in the mix. I keep getting that one mixed up. Through we go. Around this venue. An all-action start for Italian F4. An absolute wild start for Italian F4, I think is a better description, to be fair. Oh, contact is at the back. We've got a spinner. We have got a spinner in the background. So, we will catch up and see who that is. There we go. It is the number 30 of Emir Tanju, who was the driver who spun around. We saw in the background of shot that there was some form of contact, and we got our answer very, very quickly in terms of who it was. Across the line we go. Another lap complete. Nakamura Berta leads the way. Stolchamanis has a premium 1-2, and he was able to get ahead of Lucas Samalisto. Gabriel Gomez was in the mix as well on that opening lap. Quite a lot. That's what we love about this championship. Frenetic, exciting, action-packed. Right, we're going to take a look at a replay. Who is going to be making contact here then? Oh! So that is down the inside for the Van Amersfoort of Alexander Ruta. And he made contact with Kabir Anurag there. So it's Anurag. So yeah, Ruta's front wing was damaged. So it's Ruta's front wing that's gone. Ruta into the side of Kabir Anurag. There's the number 77. And that is Bart Harrison, who's into the side of Emir Tanju. But that's the battle that we cut to. It's kind of like the Formula 3 sprint. It's just, there's so much chaos everywhere. 20 minutes and 34 seconds on the clock to go. We navigate our way through. Drivers taking the wide line around this Vallelunga circuit into the hairpin. There's some brave opportunities being presented for some drivers. Stolchamanis will try put some pressure on Key Nakamura Berta. Ludovico Busso is about to exit the pit lane as well. So that's going on at the same time. So Stolchamanis though has set the fastest lap. He is really going to have a chance to put some pressure on. Key Nakamura Berta, the driver who used to be with Alpine, of course. Not anymore though. And Stolchamanis is applying the pressure. Well, I did say at the start of the broadcast that the opening round lacked a bit of battling for the lead. It got really close to very nearly 3 wide. I think today though we are going to get a battle for the lead, and it will be the Premers going for it. Oh, maybe not. We've got a car off the road. Who is that going to be? It's the number 91, and that is going to be Kornela Olkutska. That is disappointing, and we'll need a safety car 100%. The safety car will be required in this race right now as they make their way through. Well, you know, that's just dramatic stuff. That is completely dramatic stuff out there on the circuit. And there we go to the safety car, everybody. Oh, I was looking forward to this battle, but now it's going to be a battle on the safety car restart, it looks like. Okay, well, while that goes on, let's head back over to Ian. And it just looked like Cornelia Olkutska just lost it all by herself.
Undamaged, but beached in the gravel. So we start lap 5 with Nakamura Berta's lead of 1 second evaporating. Stoltermanis in second place. Samalisto, Gomez, Rem, Salim. The Colombian, Salim Hanna, whose driver coach is not here this weekend. This is Alexander Bondarev, though. Down in pit lane, a new front wing for the Ukrainian. The Williams F1 Academy junior driver pitting under full course yellow was down in 20th position. Nathaniel Betterby also down in pit lane. There was Kabir Anurag also at the exit of pit lane. The rear wing. It looks as though that will be too much for the Alpine F1 Junior Academy driver. Bondarev, 21st position. Ludovico Busso, the Sicilian, will be able to stay on the lead lap just. He's being waved by the magnificent Lamborghini Urus. Safety car here. There's Kutzkov, Chi, Teo Schropp, Gael Bags drop back to 13th. Head of Andrea Dupe, David Walter up to 15. Al Solati, Lorimer, Andrea Kostic. This is Bart Harrison down in pit lane. The distinct voice of team owner Andreas Jenser in the background. Remember, they did take the title with the Argentine Marcus Sieber in 2016. That nail-biting final at Monza, where he overcame the German Mick Schumacher to win in the 2016 Italian F4 Championship for the Jensen Motorsport team. So it may well be a quick safety car intervention as Cornelia Okulska's car, the 91 Muffy racing car, is dragged off the circuit. It looks to be undamaged. That's the only positive for the pole. Her teammate, Nathaniel Berby, is out, as is Kabir Anurag. Bart Harrison stuck down in pit lane. Ludovico Busso does rejoin, as does Alexander Bondarev. Ruta Alexander still on the lead lap after contact in the early stages. So we expect to go green next time round. That's Kutzkov going through ahead of Newman Chi, who drones in on the back of the Muffy Racing Team driver, who's inside the top 10. A much better turnaround for the Muffy Racing Team. Danny and Chris Muffy, the second Swiss team in the series, together with Jensen Motorsport. Nakamura Berta from pole position is the race leader. He's got Thomas Stoltermanis, his teammate, behind. And then the US racing drivers, 3, 4 and 5. Luca Samalisto from Finland, Gabriel Gomez from Brazil, and the German Maxim Rem. Salim.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely indeed, Ian. Of course, we have one lap added on as an addition once this one finishes. What will Keen Nakamura Berta be able to do on the restart? Can Stoltermanis apply some pressure? It's going to be a really fascinating fight to the finish. So, Lucas Amalisto, keep an eye on him. The driver in third. Let's see what he can do. Can he try to take second place back? What about Gabriel Gomez as well? Two very similar liveries. Of course, Gomez being the number 78. Samalisto being the number 7. So we're just waiting for the car to be cleared, and then hopefully we'll get the message that the safety car's coming in. And safety car's in this lap. Perfect stuff. Perfect stuff indeed. It means that we are able to get going and continue Italian F4 story around this Vallelunga circuit. Nakamura Berta is going to be the leader. Can Stoltemanis put some pressure? So Stoltemanis would have been pumped up, seeing the gap close and seeing the pace he had. Now he has to try and repeat the exact same trick, but this time on a safety car restart where he is glued to the back. Here we go. Key Nakamura Berta puts his foot down, and Italian F4 is racing once again around Vallelunga circuit. To the final corner we go. Nakamura Berta with a decent gap over Stoltemanis, who will try and remain close to put some pressure. Luca Samalisto in third, and he is going to be waiting for an opportunity and look to see whether there's going to be a run heading down towards turn number 1. They all close in with a slipstream down to the first turn of the circuit. We are going side by side further back. Let's see whether we can see a move. And that was a brave move being attempted further back, but nothing came of it. So Nakamura, Stoltemanis and Luca Samalisto, our top 3, they are in order. But now attention turns to see whether Stoltemanis can put some pressure and can try and make a move. He's in the slipstream. He's really closing in. It's Stoltemanis. Gabriel Gomez under a little bit of pressure. That's from Maxime Rem as well. So Rem is trying to do his absolute best. We've got a Van Amersfoort that is off the road in the background. And we're just going to try and see who that is. That is the number 87 of... so that's the number 87 of Francesco Pio Coppola. As we make our way through. The Van Amersfoort off the road though was Marcus Sita. Through the hairpin we go now. Nakamura Berta is just having the advantage that he needs at this stage. They're all making their way through further back. And as we are about to come across the line, it is time to see what our gap is across the line. So it's going to be close. But Stoltemanis not in any attacking range at this stage. We head down towards the first turn. Looking forward to seeing how this Italian F4 race will play out. Really close. Really, really close. Further back, we've got a Prema trying to go on the charge. So, surely that is going to be Salim Hanna trying to put some pressure on. But now, are we about to see a battle for the lead? Closing in is Stoltemanis. Has a dart, has a look. That is going to be Newman Shi, wheel to wheel. Newman Shi trying to go around the outside. That'll be off Krill Kutskov. There's nothing between them. Shi with the inside, Kutskov on the outside. They're going to go wheel to wheel, down onto the braking zone. And it's going to be Newman Shi who gets by. So great stuff from Newman Shi, able to take control of that position ahead of Kutskov. They will try and continue to fight this one. Also in behind, you have Theo Schrupp, waiting for his opportunity, waiting for his chance to do something magical as well. Still, we see Kutskov trying to get the power down to fight back up against Newman Shi. She has that position for now. Gap increasing a little bit once again. Samalisto in third. Look at this race. It's really close. It's all in the balance. You don't know how this one is going to end. When does a dive bomb come from Stoltemanis? Can he catch Key Nakamura Berta out? Those are the question marks that will be being asked at this stage. He's sitting in behind. We're down the straight. He's trying to break the slipstream. But At this stage, the gap will be enough by the time we get down to the braking zone. That is the number 91 car of Cornelia Olkutska. So that's been able to get down to the pit lane, and that is a replay of a big moment for the number 28 car of... Well, that's not Newman She. It looked like a number 28. It clearly isn't a number 28 then. Apologies for that one. Wasn't able to identify who that was. Just taking a look for you of who it could possibly be. Might have been Emmanuel Olivieri. Yeah, I'm looking at digits that end with 8. Could have been that. The sun is not helping identifying these cars today. I'll tell you that pretty much. But it is really, really close as we make our way through to the final few corners around this circuit. And I think it was Al Sulti, actually. Al Salati, I think it was, who had that moment. Frame is line astern, but no overtake being made. Not close enough right now for Stoltramanis. The reason being, Key Nakamura Roberta set a fastest lap last time by. Nakamura Roberta knows when to push, he knows when to attack, and he knows when to get on with it. And that's exactly what he's managed. But now, what does Stoltramanis have in response? It'll all be about what Stoltramanis can do in reply. Can he fight back? Can he do something special? It's those type of question marks that we are always asking. To the braking zone again. We go through. Standing on the power. The number 71 there. Of Maxim Rem. Is 9/10 away around from Gabriel Gomez. He's under a bit of pressure from Salim Hanna though. I'm fascinated to see whether Stoltramanis has got anything in reserve, or whether it was just pace that Key Nakamura Roberta was preserving in terms of the tyres, and then he could push on hard. So we had this conversation, if I remember correctly, a few weeks ago at Misano, where in race 4 it usually goes wild because of the tyres. They're having to preserve these a little bit more because it's the opening race of the weekend, and they can go for it more in their next group stage race, and then hopefully their third race, which everyone will be hoping to try get, which of course will be eliminating a couple of drivers. As mentioned at the top of the show, we're most likely not going to be seeing this divisions of groups being formed due to Monza being able to handle 51 cars in total, which is fantastic news. Of course, we're not going to exceed 50, but well, I mean, who knows, unless there's lots of sign-ups. But yeah, doubt we're exceeding 50. If we do, then could be the case. Okay, Cornelia Olkutska, let's quickly hear from her.
The same as before, and I just spun, so yeah.
The weekend is still long.
Yeah, we are preparing for tomorrow for the second race, so yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Cornelia Olkutska. They're speaking with us, and great to hear that her hopes are still set for her next race. And unfortunately, in an Italian F4 season, no matter who your name is, you will be affected. You will have moments which are costly. It is just the way the cookie crumbles. So we'll try broadcast as much of Italian F4 as possible, but there will be sometimes, unfortunately, where we aren't able to bring you this broadcast. I don't know how, but somehow all 4 Italian F4 races in terms of timings have worked this weekend, and we can bring you it on Monaco week out of all weeks. Indy 500 week is absolutely extraordinary that we're completely able to show you this and completely able to bring you this as well as we make our way through them. Stoltramanis has a 5/10 gap. He's trying to close in as Nakamura Roberta tries to break the toe. This is fantastic racing, and 2 elite drivers pushing on to their limit. Battle for third as well. Samalisto having to defend from Gabriel Gomez, who was really on the charge. The Brazilian driver in the opening round, as I remember. Trying to make some overtakes, trying to defend, trying to do it all. Was Gabriel Gomez. Through the braking zone. Time is ticking. If we're going to see a change... Oh no! Off the road and into the barrier! Big moment for Lucas Samalisto! From third position in the race! He's straight off! And he's found the wall! Dramatic moment, which will see the driver from third fade off! Out of the points! Out of the race! And with 3 minutes and 15 seconds to go, surely the safety car will be needed. He was under massive pressure from Gabriel Gomez. He dipped a tyre into the grass, and he's off! And into the wall! Dramatic. A big moment of consequence. And that could be the chance gone. If your name is Ki Nakamura Berta. Well, if your name is Dolce Manis, rather. To try and go for the win. He wasn't even under... I mean, there we go. There's the safety car. But that one's got to hurt. Minutes away from the checkered flag. Minutes away from the end. He put it onto the grass, and then he was a passenger from that point straight into the wall. That's a podium chance gone. And if anyone was wondering how sometimes that it might not fully be down to pace, there's so many other factors. Exactly this. You can find yourself, you get 2 races to try qualify. You can find yourself out in one, and then you get taken out of the second, and that could be your weekend done. So many factors like this. Can see drivers also fade out. We'll hope he can fight back though in his next race. We make our way through. Safety car's out. And we of course have +1 lap, but I don't know if we'll get to the +1 lap. Whether they'll be able to clear that up in time. We of course thank all the marshals who allow us to go motor racing. As per usual. Formula 1 practice going on at this exact same time at the moment. So it's really, really nice to see everything play out. Prema watching on there. The red team. Now in IndyCar. Now shining in IndyCar. Oh yes, I think it's definitely worth mentioning that please all join us for the Indy 500 to watch Prema as well. And from the Italian F4 side of things, I wish them the absolute best of luck as well. Of course, we'll be on the broadcast, but yeah, from this broadcast, Italian F4, where we have the Premas out there, huge best of luck being sent to them. It's going to be a hard task, but them, Selves and Schwartzman have done absolutely brilliantly, and I cannot wait to see what they can cook up for all of the feeder series fans next time out. Nakamura Berta making his way through. Doubt we're going to be able to get back going in this. It will be a race that will finish behind the safety car. My word. A dramatic moment though. Dramatic, dramatic, dramatic. In Italian F4, it is going to be heading the way of Ki Nakamura Berta. The clock has ticked down to 0. You've got +1 lap after this, unless they've already cleared it. And we get the message right about now. Then that will be it. That will be done, and this race will be finished as well. Comma Christopher, by the way, I have to say, getting pulled by 1.5 seconds. The slicks really worked out for him. Absolutely wild stuff when it came to qualifying. We love the unpredictable nature of Italian F4, don't we? Making our way through them. On the penultimate lap, about to go on to the final lap. The race will finish behind the safety car is the message by race control. So So that's what's going to be taking place. Key Nakamura Berta on his way to another victory. Him in Italian F4 right now is absolutely extraordinary. He's performing to an elite level that no one else is being able to do. Gabriel Gomez will be in third. We're getting another message, a reminder that race will finish behind the safety car. That'll be next lap by though, because of course we're on the +1 lap thing now. So they still have to go by one more time around. We're on to the final lap of Italian F4. It's going to be a final lap that will be really interesting to see how these guys all finish across the line. Of course, safety car will move out of the way. They'll let them take the picture. The picturesque moment of seeing Key Nakamura Roberto across the line. Stoltramanis in second, and Gabriel Gomez in third. So, quite long to be fair. Quite long. It's an Italian F4 race, it takes 25 minutes. Yet we went on air at, what was it, 11:05? And we are now finishing about an hour later. By no doubt our longest Italian F4 broadcast that we've provided so far this year. But that's exactly what happens. That is exactly what happens when everything is so late and delayed. So yeah, Ski Nakamura Roberto about to get his winning moment. Stoltramanis will give Prema 1-2, and Gabriel Gomez will say thank you very much to the mistake by Lucas Amalisto, and will promote himself to the third position and final position on the rostrum as well. So we make our way through them around this circuit. Key Nakamura Roberto about to call himself the race winner. KNB. What a drive. Again. Brilliant. Well, he had the pressure from his teammate Luca. Let's try that again. He had the pressure. There we go. Got there in the end. He had the pressure, of course, from Stoltramanis, his teammate. Thomas Stoltramanis gave it his all. But it's going to be Key Nakamura Roberto, KNB, as they call him, as the winner once again in Italian F4. Another controlled performance, and to see his teammate close for so long, it was very easy to make a mistake. And it was very easy to not manage things exactly as you need to at this early age. Alpine don't back him anymore. But here's a reason why they maybe should. Because KNB comes out of the final corner on the last tour. And he is going to lead a Prema 1-2. KNB wins. Once again in Italian F4. He takes the race win at Vallelunga. Stoltramanis is in second. And Gabriel Gomez claims third. Maxim Rem in fourth. And then it's going to be Salim Hanna in fifth. Artem Severyukin in sixth. Marcus Sita in seventh. And then Anea Frey got up to 8th. Newman Shi in 9th. And Kirill Kutskov got 10th. It is very slow across the line for all of the other drivers. I'm unsure what is going on here. Is there an issue for someone? I think there might be an issue for someone, so they all are backing off a lot. So that's a weird finish across the line. The gaps will be basically non-existent. Let's see if we can go to the battle screen. Are the gaps non-existent? Well, they should be a lot more non-existent than that, to be fair. They looked closer. They looked way closer. The gaps seem normal than that, but... Okay. Interesting stuff. Brilliant start from Prema Racing once again. A 1 and 2. But... I don't know what was going on with... I think it was Sevayukin, I think? Don't know what was going on there. Don't know whether he had an issue, whether he had some damage, or what was going on, why he was so slow, but... Luckily I'm not a steward, so that's not my job to figure out why. That'll be their job. If that's needed. Hopefully... all will be okay. For his sake, and he can just focus on with the rest of the racing action that is to come. Okay. Well... that's going to be another broadcast coming to a close. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us on Italian F4. We're going to wrap it up here, as we, of course, do have other things going on, which I need to be on. So, yes, I'm going to go join the team over in FP3, and first of all, actually eat something, because I've not eaten since I woke up. So that's annoying. I've just been drinking Pepsi. That's about it. Okay, other brands are available, by the way. We do need to mention, thank you very much, everyone, for joining us, and we will see you when we go racing later on today for the second race of the weekend. Goodbye.